What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Dalton Miller, president and founder of RetireFlo, insurance agent advocate, and friend of Josh Smith. I'm listen. I'm making. I mean, I should say best friend, but we'll get there.
There's a ranking, I've got to move up the ladder. If I'm friend right now, maybe I'll be best friend by this summer.
I was just off with Amanda Bruton, and that she's in the best friend.
Also a friend.
Yeah, also a friend of the program. But Josh serves as senior director of carrier relations for ConnectureDRX. I probably have some Connecture.
We got our swag.
Listen, I would tell you that these don't come lightly. You have to submit hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of enrollments through Connection. But these are pretty cool. They're perfectly clean. I haven't worn them yet, but very proud of them.
They're nice. They're great Air Force Ones for sure.
You know what I like about them, Josh? They've got. You know what? Let's keep rolling. It's just some artwork fell off the wall. It tells you how excited I am about PlanCompare Edge for agents. Okay, we're going to talk about that here in a second. You know what? Let's get into it. Josh.
For sure.
Josh serves many hats at Connecture in many roles, and that's because he's a wonderful guy who has a incredible history in this industry. But one of the things that he and I share is a passion for making enrollment platforms easy for agents. This is the biggest headache that we found. Now, RetireFlo, in my opinion, solved a pretty large chunk of this problem, which is the data collection. And it's, okay, well, now if I can collect all of my data through RetireFlo, where can I use it to shop, quote, and enroll all the carriers that I'm licensed with? And so I think Josh and I would say in unison, the answer to that is PlanCompare Edge for agents.
Absolutely. So if someone out there is not familiar with Connecture, and there's tons of agents that might not be, but it's hilarious because there's tons of agents that are probably using our tools right now that just don't know. And so as a quick introduction to Connecture, we're a technology company. We specialize in quote, shop, and enroll for Medicare plans. We partner with the top FMOs across the country. We partner with carriers as well that license our tools so that they offer agents to be able to quote, shop, and enroll. The interesting thing, and something I was talking to Dalton too about Medicarians and talking to agents, is that there's this void, or there's this gap in an agent's technology solution to be able to effectively quote, shop, and enroll their book of business, right?
In one spot.
Exactly. So agents are using, if you've got multiple contracts, multiple FMOs, then you're going to one FMO's tool to use their quote, shop, and enroll, then another FMO's tool to quote, shop, and enroll, or maybe even going to carriers direct to do all of your business there too. That's where we kind of start filling in that gap. We've been going to Medicarians, talking to agents directly and asked what their pain points. And so often I don't have a single place that I can go to follows my book of business and quote, shop, and enroll my clients on the best fit plans for them. And I think that the tool that we have available to any agent, to any small agency, is revolutionizing the industry in a way that it makes agents more effective at what they do throughout AEP, SEP, and the rest of lock-in. It's great.
Well, let me ask you this question, Josh, because I think this is important to sort of illuminate it. Imagine you're an agent out there, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but imagine you're an agent who has two FMOs. Mm-hmm. So one FMO provides you an enrollment platform over here, and the other provides you a different one. Mm-hmm. And you have maybe a local carrier in your community who has its own enrollment platform. Yep. For if you want to write their business. And if you're going to use a tool like PlanCompare Edge for agents, are you telling me, and I do know the answer to this, of course, but are you telling me that all of those folks, in most cases, are all going to be in one platform so I can compare and contrast plans against each other?
Exactly. We've got over 90 carriers in our inventory right now for enrollment, and even more if we're just quoting. But again, we've got all of the top level or the large national carriers and a ton of local carriers too. And it's not even just in like the Medicare Advantage space. You know, you quoting prescription drug plans, Medicare supplements, dental vision hearing plans, and hospital indemnity too. Like if you're going to multiple websites or multiple tools to do your enrollments, why make it more complicated than it needs to be and have your RetireFlo and an enrollment platform all in one space?
Now, do you feel like, well, I guess the question, or maybe just this general statement is, you know, it's October 24th and your office is busy and your phone is ringing off the hook and you're constantly getting questions about what plan is best for me. And you know, because my neighbor got free golf clubs on their plan, or you know, I've been on a supplement for a long time and I'm curious about Medicare Advantage, or
Yeah.
you know, vice versa, or whatever it might be. When there's a time crunch,
Yeah.
and you have to perform and do your job at a high level, streamlining this process is going to make it night and day better.
Yeah, I mean, just even think about like the information that you guys are gathering on RetireFlo. You know,
Yeah.
doctors, drugs, prescriptions, pharmacies, and you need a place to house all of that. And then that's where Connecture kind of comes in. We take all of that data, and all you have to do from there is type in your zip code for your client, and boom, you've got all of the plans that are available in that area. You can quote, you can compare them. You've got a personal URL that you can send to these folks, and if they want to enroll on their own, they can do that too. But everything is staying right here. All of your plans, you're not going to multiple websites or you know, or going from one FMO to another FMO or to a carrier directly. You've got everything all in one place.
Now, if let's say I'm in a precarious situation with my agency,
Sure.
and you know, I appreciate the tools that are provided to me through my FMO, which are awesome, but you know, who knows where what my future might hold in terms of where my contracts are housed.
Yeah.
If I go from one FMO to another FMO, which occasionally does happen more often than we talk about probably, do I get to keep this data? Does it go with me?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're licensing as an agent directly from Connecture, right? This is yours. You can see it in our contracts, in our agreement that we have with our agents. We take your data and your client's data incredibly seriously. We want to make sure that this data is yours and it's transferable. So if something happens outside of the Connecture realm, if you switch, you know, your uplines, you go from upline A to upline B, that doesn't matter to us. We're a truly upline agnostic company. We're able to do that because we're not getting your permissions from your uplines. We're going directly to those carriers, making sure that we're able to give you the selling permissions for the plans that you truly are ready to sell for.
All right, now if you're upline agnostic, and I have a contract through a carrier who, by the way, might be or through an FMO who I have a great relationship with.
Yeah.
Is that FMO still going to get the credit for my business?
Absolutely. We're upline agnostic. We're not taking the FMOs out of the equation at all. If you got
it at all, it's not going to disturb it.
Exactly. Wow. We're not usurping them. They're still your upline. If you've got questions about, you know, your contract with the carrier through your upline, you can still go to your upline, talk to them, ask them questions. But the cool thing is that you own your own technology to make sure that when you are doing your quote shop and enroll, you're able to do that effectively, easily, and making your AEP more effective as well.
And while we're here talking about this, let's send a message to the FMOs who are out there who might question this. You know, so you're telling me that one of my agents writes a plan that they are contracted through me, the FMO, hypothetically, which of course we are not, but you know, our partners are. I'm still going to get credit for that business.
You're still getting credit for that business. We're sending the information to the carriers the same way that we do when we already are connecting with our FMO partners too. It's in that same format that we're currently using with the carriers. When we send the enrollments, essentially like when an agent signs up with us, they give us their national producer number and their name. We check that off of all of the carriers that are sending us. We make sure, all right, Bob Jones is ready to sell this plan in this state. We give them permissions. When we pass that enrollment data to any of the carriers identify, oh, that's Bob Smith, and here's his NPN, and this NPN corresponds to this upline. They already have the connection points on their side. We just make it simpler for the agent to do their job, and then the carriers and the FMOs, they already have the agreement, and they can find out and sort it from there.
Wow. So, okay, so maybe I'm a user of RetireFlo. Maybe I'm RetireFlo curious and want to have a better AEP than I did last year. Maybe I want all my plans in one spot.
Yeah.
We have teamed up with Connecture. And, I've got some just very destructive Nike shoes over here to have a earthquake level exciting bundle. Okay. Because that's what that was. When the painting cloth falls, an earthquake here in the desert. $100 a month. RetireFlo is bundled in. So if you are maybe currently have a cost of RetireFlo, if you move to PlanCompare Edge for agents, you will be relieved of that cost. If you are new, you now have what I would argue is an absolute AEP super weapon. Okay. Good AEPs are made in May, June, and July. I think AEP kind of starts in August and September.
Yeah.
I need to be the one who bears that message to people because it's a tough time of year, but it's true.
As soon as certifications start rearing their heads, it's the starting signal for the rest of the season,
So
and it doesn't start.
If this is something you're interested in and you want to make sure that you are set up for the fall, that you're in a good spot, PlanCompare Edge for agents is something you should be looking at right now. It takes literally, I think, 24 hours or maybe 48 at the very latest to get your platform set up. You get RetireFlo bundled right in, it's turned on, and you can mass blast our system, RetireFlo, collect all the data you need, and run your quotes inside of PlanCompare Edge for agents for $100 flat. But what the reason that Josh and I are taping this post Medicarians and not in August and September, we will remind you, of course. That's what we do a good job of. But is so that way you can use this platform and get comfortable with it. So that way, when the thick of AEP rolls around and you're in your Super Bowl period, you're locked and loaded and you're comfortable with using these two systems together. Because the way that RetireFlo and Connecture works together is really, really cool. But I would argue it might take a week of adjusting. Don't do that adjustment period in, August and September. Do it now, get comfortable with it, and have all your stuff in one spot. Anything else you want to add to this? I know there's hundreds of agents across the country who are using this system today. Any anecdotes, Josh, from people? We hear it takes the mess out of it.
All the time at Medicarians, people want simpler tools or more tools that are connective natively with each other. Connecture and RetireFlo are the perfect example. And when you're taking the information from RetireFlo, it's imported directly into Connecture, ready for an agent to enroll their clients. I do want to also plug our mutual partners too with Medicare CRM and new agency block as well for you guys too. We have native integrations with them too. So if you're already integrated or using their CRMs as a platform, you're able to continue using them. And there's a native integration with all three of us too. RetireFlo, Connecture, PlanCompare Edge. You start your enrollments and keep all of your data right where you want it to be. If your source of truth is in your CRM, keep it there. And when you send out the RetireFlo survey, that fills that in. And when you're ready to enroll, there's a button right in your CRM that jumps you over right to our system for the enrollment. And then once that enrollment finishes, it's all wrapped right back to your own CRM where it lives there for the rest of the time.
That's a remarkable thing. And I highlight this because it's been a lot of hard work on our end and on your end too as well, Josh. What he's saying is when somebody completes a RetireFlo survey, and which is really, really, really easy for beneficiaries, all that data syncs not only in your enrollment platform, but also in your CRM. So your source of truth in all of your systems is fresh and up to date. And when one changes, the other changes and so forth. And, it's one thing to do that between two partners, but from a technological, I don't want to geek out on everybody, but that is not an easy thing. And so we are immensely excited about what the AEPs are going to look like for users of this tool. I anticipate. I don't want to. What's the Men's Warehouse that says like you're gonna
They
look
like
good?
the way you look. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I don't want to do guarantees, but at the same time, I just don't know how you have a worse AEP with this system. You're just not gonna. So
Historically, and just a fun little fact, the agents on PlanCompare Edge for agents, this past AEP and throughout 2026 have been submitting 100 apps per agent. If we take a look at some of like our FMO numbers, those are generally around like 30 apps per agent, because they're less effective when they have multiple websites that they need to go to. So being able to house all of your carriers in one spot, you don't have to bounce around for your quoting and making sure that this item is on this formulary or this doctor's in network, because you could do everything on our platform.
I think it should be called Connecture One Spot. I
love it.
We're going to change the name, start a campaign today. But I'm really, really excited about this. If you are interested in this, you can reach out to the Connecture team. If you go to that website down there at the below, connecture.com/PlanCompare-edge-agents, or you can reach out to us. We're also available to train you on it as well. Don't have a miserable AEP. Don't go clicking around to 18 different tabs. Life is too short. Okay. Use this bundle for $100. You got to invest in yourself as an agent.
Yeah.
Get yourself an early Halloween present. Okay. Enjoy Halloween with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Dress up like a witch and drink some wine and pass out candy with your friends.
Yeah. Enjoy the holiday season, right? Enjoy
Yes.
your October. Like, enjoy your Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like, take the time back. Yeah.
Yeah. So take a look at this. It is earth shattering. There was an earthquake in Palm Springs while this was being taped. My painting fell, but that's because I'm so excited about PlanCompare Edge for agents. So Josh, thank you so much. Anything you want to add before we go?
No, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about PlanCompare Edge for agents, and obviously with the RetireFlo integration too, and the bundle is just it's a home run at the beginning of baseball season for us.
Yeah, it is. Good call. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day.
Later, y'all.